April 17th. I just typed it. It's April 17th. Coming to you from the shop around 7:15, a little bit before 7:15, on a beautiful, beautiful day. Low 60s. Kind of chilly now that the sun has set. Shop was very busy today. Thank God. The thing about a comic shop, the thing about a comic shop is that every single comic shop, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Curates its clientele. The way we interact with customers, the sort of stuff we have, the way we offer people things that we can get, that we don't get, that we do have, that we don't have, the way we talk about our books. Mark's here again. That jet lag's really messing you up, huh, Mark? Um, the way we talk about the single issues of comics, the way anything like that, makes people more or less interested. And I've been thinking about that a lot. I know I've been going on and on about this for weeks now, but there's a huge part of the comic world that is crazy hype about the single issue market currently. And we've talked about the absolute, the ultimate, and there are stores talking about how great that. But I don't want to focus on 12-hour time. This is crazy to me. I don't want to focus on what the shops who claim that stuff is a boost and is helpful, what else they might sell, why that's good for them, how they, because I don't know those shops. What I do know is my shop, my friend Katie's shop, Books with Pictures, my friend Jean David's shop, who is in Hudson Valley. I just recommended that shop to somebody. So I want to talk about something Jean David did. Also, if you saw the thumbnail picture for this episode, there's a bunch of dudes hanging around in the back of my shop who I think are vaguely connected to the shop next door to me. I don't know why, except that when I saw them out there, the person was leaving the shop next door. She sort of smiled and said hi. I've seen her once. I don't really know. The shop's still not open, by the way. They were there and she said hi to me. Like, I don't know if she didn't know them either and just walked past, but very weird. That whole back area has always been a strange thing about people hanging out there, about it not really being used by us for any major thing, except on Free Comic Book Day or things like that. So one of the things I want to talk about is Jean David, Mega Brain Comics in Rhinebeck. Oh, in Red Hook now. They moved from Rhinebeck to, and made an announcement recently that, recently as in today, earlier today, they will no longer be doing pull lists. They will no longer be ordering people single issue comics and graphic novels in advance. They will no longer be making special orders. And their reasoning was, which I thought was fascinating, their reasoning was not nobody buys this stuff, but they don't order in a quantity high enough for it to be worth that. Now, keep in mind, if everything was coming from Diamond, if everything, yeah, right, Joe? If everything was coming from Diamond, if everything was in one place, it wouldn't be such a big deal. It really wouldn't be that big a deal because, okay, we're only getting 5 copies of this for the people on the hold list. We'll just get 5. But if you have to order from Lunar, from Diamond, from 3 other places to get all the various books that people are asking, it becomes a real time suck just to get it for hold list people. And then you're getting stuff for hold list people. You have to have some other new books for them to maybe look through. And we have this problem. And you can curate that as tight as you want. You can make your single issues. Let's go look at our single issues. You can make your single issues as tight as we have. You can make them really, I mean, like, right? We looked at yesterday, these are all of our new issues. That's it. Here. And actually, we sold out of the book that was here. That was The Ultimate Wolverine. We only got 1 copy. This and this are the bundles that are discounted. Man, these people are still back there. What they're doing. They look like they're throwing things around. Hold on 1 second. They're tossing things on a wall. You see this? The heck? Anyway, you put this stuff up on the wall so that people who are getting hold lists can look through it, can decide, oh, I want, and I did. I sold a whole bunch of the new New Gods because Andrew McLean is in it. I sold a couple of the new Nightwing because, Turtles. You put it up, so that becomes, when you're not getting new single issues, you can't get that stuff anymore. But more than that, even people, if you were just doing hold lists, people who get hold lists want to look through that stuff. So I know, Joe, I don't think that they're really doing anything horrible. I'm just curious who they are, since we have these weird neighbors. Like, I just wonder if they're involved or not. Anyway, my point is, that to me is an incredibly brave decision. I know from talking to him numerous times, we got some people coming in, that I know, maybe, I know from talking to him that they actually sell a lot more little knickknacks and toys and older back issues than they do sell the new stuff. That's not a humongous seller for them. And every sale you make is sucked away by having other stuff on the shelf for people to peruse, to go through. You have to do big clearance sales. You have to do something, bundle stuff to get that stuff out the door. I've talked about numerous times, OK Comics in Leeds, they will do £1 comic sales, and they will just take loads of books from a year, 18 months, whatever ago, put them out, and they're £1. Comics cost about £5 to £6 with the British conversion rate, and they just put them out, boom, £1, and they do it twice a year. See, Mark, you thought of Skid Row, and I, of course, thought of My Cousin Vinny. Utes. Some Utes. You can do stuff like that, which will help with any of the stuff, but it's a humongous endeavor to have hold lists. I just had a regular hold list person who hasn't picked up in a month come in and say, oh, by the way, I'm canceling all my holds. I'm trying to save money for a trip, and I just have to stop. And he's a very responsible customer. He's been coming in for over 10 years, but he's done this a few times. He needs to save money. He's an obsessive, and you were doing 30 Rock. Of course you were. And he knows that his obsessive nature makes him buy a lot of things that he can't get. So Mega Brain has taken that out of the equation. They are now a comic shop that will not be getting new comics. But I can tell you, here on Long Island, we've got Kyle's Comics, we've got MC2 Comics, we've got guys who are just buy, sell, trade of back issues. And they do very well. Kyle's Comics is open 7 days a week. I don't think for super long hours every day, and they do good. They do very nice. They do very good. You don't need new single issues to be a comic shop. Half the people who come in here and walk around and walk out, they go, ooh, a comic shop. They walk in, I don't have magic cards, I don't have pops, I don't have statues, and they're out. Because that's what a comic shop is. So I don't think it's impossible to not have a hold list, or to not be getting the new Superman, or not be getting Absolute, or not be getting Ultimate, and still be a real comic shop. But it's fascinating to take that part of the equation just out of the door after you've been doing it. And then Mega Brain Comics is like 8 or 9 years old. And to remove that, while there is a huge proponent of the comic book world talking about how Absolute and Ultimate and all this are getting them new fans and new customers and all this stuff, is really stunning to me. You could run a comic shop, and I've thought about this numerous times when our single issue sales have been at their lowest. You can run a comic shop getting books from IPS, Hachette, and Scholastic, even Penguin Random House. If you're not getting new single issues, even Penguin Random House, you can get returnable terms. And you can get new graphic novels on returnable terms and just stock them out. You can have the new Raina, you can have the new Terry Leibson, you can have the new Paul Karasik, you can have the new Craig Thompson, has Ginseng Roots coming out soon. You can have these tremendous books, 20 copies deep, and 2 months later in the return window, send them back. Well, what do you mean you don't have Superman? Oh, we have Superman. We have DC Compact, All-Star Superman. DC Compact has got Birthright coming out soon, one of the best Superman origins ever made. DC, as Joe knows, because he just put an order, DC Compact has Kingdom Come coming out soon. They have New Frontier this year. There's great stuff that you can get in the book market and still have a totally kick-ass comic shop. And it's fascinating. It's fascinating that I really do think and this is where we're dovetailing into this. I think what really connects with it, Alter Ego Comics, which is a 22-year-old comic shop in California, has just said that with the new tariffs on toys and statues, his most lucrative part of his business has just been wiped out. I'd like you to keep that in mind. This is a almost 30-year-old comic shop, more than 20-year-old comic shop, saying that toys and statues are their most lucrative part of their shop. And the tariffs, wiping that off the table. Comics Experience, which I constantly reference, Brian Hibbs' amazing store, has almost no toys, no statues, but they sell stickers, patches, art, little things of gaming, little tiny things. They have what they call sidelines. And those sidelines that most comic shops do pretty well with are all going to get tariffed. So it's all shifting. So right, Mark, exactly. They're different crowds, they're different ideas, yet everyone calls them all comic shops. It's very bizarre, but it also is about to flip on its head. I don't think Pokemon cards and Magic cards are tariff-free. They're not educational. They're not books. I believe that those are about to start going up in price quite a bit. And this is a major thing. This is going to hit stores that have, for decades, sold Marvel Legends and what are they called? Hot Toys? Sideshow Collectibles. Those things. All those things are made in China and Japan. And Marvel Legends might be made in Mexico. Doesn't really matter. All those things are about to go down in price. And we're about to see a massive upheaval and change of how all that stuff is done. And for a comic shop to in my mind, boldly say, look, we're not making bank on Absolute Batman. We are not running with our pockets stuffed with cash because Ultimate Spider-Man is so popular. We don't need it. It's detrimental to our business. That's amazing. So I've reached out. I've asked him for more info. I've asked the guys at Mega Brain for a little bit more information. I'd love to know what pushed the decision. I'd love to know if it's as I assume, not the hold lists that are the problem. Because again, hold lists suck. People are not good about picking stuff up. People forget to pick things up, especially new people who just start them for Ultimate or Absolute, whatever. They screw up and just go, oh, I thought I had to come in, twice a year. Or, oh, I'm really sorry, I couldn't make it in. My grandma got sick. And it's like, that's fine. You could have told me that when your grandma was sick, not 6 months later or a year later. I've had people come in years after we've shut their hold list down and go, you don't still have books I asked for. I go, no, we don't. I had a customer with a defunct hold list come in, and he said, hey, man, I'm really sorry. My life got, busy, and I said, well, I've sold a bunch of your comics, but here are the rest of them. And he bought them. No harm, no foul. A little bit of harm, a little bit of foul, but we're not going to hold it against him. So hold lists suck, but they're really not. I really believe that Mega Brain probably stopped doing this because if you have to have extra on the shelf. People don't want to come and pick up their hold list. Most people, Joe, calm. Most people don't want to pick up their hold list and not get to look at new stuff. I have probably a dozen customers who do that weekly. They come in, they pick up their hold list, they glance at the shelf and leave. But if I didn't have stuff on the shelf, they might not have ever become customers. It's very important to consider. They no longer care because they order in advance and they're fine. I only have 2 or 3 people who just don't even look at the new stuff. Yeah, just give me what I have on hold. That's it. I'm gone. Very few people like that. Again, in single issue buyers. Yeah, Mark, I agree. I think a lot of these people, they're not forgetful. It's not important to them. It's not something that is a major factor to them. And then they walk past the store after not being around here for half a year and go, oh, crap, I hope they don't stop stuff for me. So it's just interesting. We're really in this amazingly transitional period while other things are happening that everyone's saying, oh, this is so great for comics. This is so good. I saw a recent comment on a thread about how good Ultimate and Absolute are going. Right, but these are new fans. They're teenagers, they're 20-somethings. 6 months from now, if it's not hot and new, if it's not the hot thing that everyone's talking about, and it's just people who read comics read it, are these people going to keep buying them? And that's a concern. I saw someone else say, very interestingly, that a lot of these sales in those books are people dropping other comics. Oh, Absolute Superman's so good, I don't need to get Action Comics anymore. Oh, I'm getting all these Absolute books. I got to drop some stuff from my whole list. So it doesn't really. So yeah, I think it's very interesting. I think we are at this bizarre period in time where single issue sales can go up and can rise due to interest and excitement about new stuff. But I don't think they can ever make that much of an impact. I don't think they can ever really break through the barrier that they're at now, where, that's an interesting question, Joe. I know for a fact that the old Ultimate stuff is still good for comics. There are still people looking for those issues and buying them for back issues. But I don't know how long that actual hype period where everyone was excited for them were. That was, I think we've discussed this before, the original Ultimate line, which starts in the late 90s, 99, 2000, I was out. I had read comics for 15 years at that point, and 15 years? Couldn't be. Over 10 years, and I just couldn't be bothered. Mark, the different generations thing is a humongous part of it, because so many people buy digital. I just had someone come in and buy the last copy I had of a BL on the shelf that they saw. That's Boys Love. It's a yaoi manga that they saw on my Instagram, and then they said, "Oh, I read everything digitally. I'm only buying this because it's a one-off." And I've read a bit of it, so I figured I'll own it because I really liked it. But they're not going to buy ongoing series from me. They even said, "Oh, this series is getting a reboot and it's coming out in May." And I said, "Please pre-order it off my site. Please go to the website and set up a pull list and pre-order, because I don't know. I don't even know if it's coming out in May, I have to have ordered it already." It's just fascinating. It's a really, really weird time where everything that we've done over the last 12 years has kind of prepared us for this, because we started with multiple distributors. We started focusing on the graphic novel. We started with super cheap back issues as our main back issue thing, not collectible issues, because I've heard many people talk about how the high-end collectibles are going down, and it's more people looking for reader copies. So all of those things are things that I thought would happen, but it's also happening while my country is going down the tubes. While people are absolutely freaked out about the economic state of things and the governmental state of things and the fascist state of things, they have a lot of reason to have those concerns, and that affects things too. So yeah, I think we're at a very weird time for comic shops. I know that we're at a very critical time for us. If I don't make a lot of money in the next 2 weeks, frankly, if I don't make a lot of money in the next 2 weeks leading up to Free Comic Book Day, it's going to be bad. I think I might make a lot of money. I think the nice weather has definitely been driving people out more. And if we get 2 weeks of really nice weather, if the signs somehow magically get here next week, I don't think that's going to happen unless the boat just suddenly decides to go 3 times the speed the boat normally goes. It could be great for us. But even if we squeak by, it's still going to be a rough summer. We're cutting order. I just made orders FOC last week. I think I ordered like 1 or 2 shelf copies of graphic novels, and that was it. Next week, though, we have like 15 new books. So it's definitely something to consider. A lot of stuff to keep in mind. And more than that, most importantly, the time now. Thank you, Mark. The time now, if you are someone who cares about not just comic shops, local business, you care about stores doing well in your area, don't go there and ask them what you can do. And don't go there and drop $500 in one day. Go there regularly. Is it a clothing store that gets new clothes once a month? Go check out what they have once a month. Help them pay their bills. Is it a bookstore? Go on Tuesdays when new releases are out. Is it a knick-knack crystal shop? All right, ask the person what hasn't moved in a long time that you might like. Oh, do you think you could sell me this on consignment. Every month I'll give you a little bit of different things you can do to help out your local store. Obviously, your local comic shop would greatly appreciate you clearing up backstock and hitting up big clearance sales and things like that they do. And that's really it. I have to start closing up. Well, not closing up, but getting ready to close up for the day and get back to New Jersey. Tomorrow, God willing, the family and I will be in Manhattan. We're doing our annual trip to the Met. Not sure if I'll do a live stream then. We're trying to keep the little ones occupied. Anyway. All right, Joe. Anyway, until then, remember, damn it, babies, you gotta be kind.